Mm-hmm.
But this was an Eagle team that was able to tee off on that offensive line last year when they were more healthy than they appear to be going into this game on Sunday. I think the Eagles front is going to eat on Sunday. I think they are going to – it's going to look like to Goff what happened to Stafford last night is my sense.
You're absolutely right, man. Great analysis by you. That's why you get paid the big bucks, bro. That's exactly why you get paid the big bucks.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging with us on this Friday. Eagles game day. We get you set for Sunday and the matchup against the Lions. So the Eagles
exciting,
guys,
man. Exciting, man. It's just so exciting,
I know.
Man.
We were talking about this.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I got we are really rocking as far as these commercials and everything, man. We're at another level, bro. Another level, man. My hat's off to to
production
Joe
quality is big time.
Come on, man. You either go big. Go hard or go home, man.
I love the music. Sounds like you just sat down in the movies and you're waiting for like a trailer or something.
It's almost like it's too good for me. You know what I'm saying? Almost too good for me.
What's the old line? If a country club will have me, I don't want to belong to it. You
right.
know what I mean? I think it was W.C. Fields or whatever. But yeah, no, you're right, Barrett. They are. It's exciting, man.
My hat's off to them. My hat's off to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good job out of Joe Kraus, our boss, and Xander and JAKIB Media for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So we sit here, guys, and we are 48 and a half hours away, but who's counting, from the Eagles and the Lions playing. And you look back at this. So the Eagles were 9-8. The Lions were 3-13-1 last season. The Eagles beat them, really thoroughly, 44-6 in the game. The Eagles enter this thing at -4, over-unders 48.5. If you go back again last year, Eagles rushed for 236 yards. They only threw for 103, didn't really need to pass for any kind of high numbers. Here's the thing. Here's what I think could be the game changer in this game, okay? Because like I told you, I thought this was going to be super tight. I'm starting to move off of that. I think the Eagles win and cover that for what it's worth. But the reason being, the Lions' offensive line is all kinds of banged up. Big V is out. That's a done deal.
Yep.
Frank Ragnow missed practice yesterday with a groin. Tommy Kramer.
That's a starting center. First round of starting. Really good center, too.
Real good. Tommy Kramer, who I think is in for Big V, right, Barrett?
Yes, on the right guard position, yes.
He's got back spasms. He's having back issues. He's right now not 100% as well. You take them out. Now they still have Taylor Decker. They still have Jonah Jackson. They still have some legit players. Don't get me wrong here.
First rounders.
Penei Sewell.
Mm-hmm.
But this was an Eagle team that was able to tee off on that offensive line last year when they were more healthy than they appear to be going into this game on Sunday. I think the Eagles front is going to eat on Sunday. I think they are going to – it's going to look like to Goff what happened to Stafford last night is my sense.
You're absolutely right, man. Great analysis by you. That's why you get paid the big bucks, bro. That's exactly why you get paid the big bucks.
Yeah. Okay.
It's you're absolutely right. When in the aspect that this team is still the Lions. No matter what you saw on Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks was just a facade. They showed you all the good stuff they do. You know what I'm saying? They didn't show the really bad stuff that they are. I mean, it's the reason why they were losing games in the preseason. It's the reason why you saw Indy, just trounce them for the most part. Yes, they're going to be a tough, hard-nosed team. Dan Campbell and Deuce, those guys would not have it any different. But they still have Aaron Glenn at the defensive coordinator. I just can't see him being that guy.
Now, why is that? Because you've said that before. Why is that?
He was a good DB, and I'm just trying to equate it to what I saw from him when he was playing. He wasn't an aggressive DB. He was one of those guys that he was like a gnat. He just stuck around, and he made plays. And it was a bend but don't break type of mentality. I'm kind of thinking he might bring that to the Lions also. He's a nice guy, like me. I'm a nice guy. I wouldn't be a great offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. One hell of an offensive line coach, but I wouldn't make a good offensive coordinator.
And let's face it too. I mean, they had a couple of additions. DJ Chark, the draft with Hutchinson and other guys they drafted. So it's not like they didn't add pieces. They added pieces, but
it's not enough pieces for the Detroit Lions. They're still the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, a 3-win team. I know they played a ton of close games, but a 3-win team that doesn't add a lot of pieces, that has a banged up offensive line, that has a questionable quarterback. I know there's a revenge factor, and the Eagles killed them, and I know Campbell's going to have I don't doubt they're going to be hyped. I think this is a matter of first couple series, Detroit's throwing haymakers because they know that's what they have to do, and you just kind of withstand it. You don't get knocked down. Just take a couple blows, and then eventually you're better, and you're going to wear them out.
I think the first half will be like that. I think the first half will be a difference of like 7, 8, 10 points, Eagles up. It'll be close. In the second half, all of a sudden, the Eagles will assert their authority, on both sides of the football. Once they figure out what Detroit's trying to do, they'll assert their authority and pull away from them. You said the over-under is 48 points.
48 and a half, yeah.
48 and a half. I think the Eagles will score at least 31 of those points. So, I think, always that first game of the season, it was like the game last night. It was 10-10 at halftime. People are saying, oh, man, we got a ball game. And then all of a sudden, the team that was more prepared pulled away and asserted itself in the second half. I can see a similar situation with the Eagles in Detroit like that on Sunday.
You get that same sense, Barrett? Like what's the ebb and the flow of this one?
That's exactly what it's going to be. They're going to get Detroit's hardest out the gate. Bam, they're going to try to hit them in the mouth. But then after that, there's only so much of that that's going to go until your athletes start being athletes, your players start being players, and we have more players than they do. We have more playmakers than they do. And eventually talent takes over. This is a talented Eagles roster, more talented than the Lions. The Lions just have to go out there, and if they can weather the storm of that first initial get hit in the mouth, then the Eagles will be fine. But if they go out there and hit the Lions in the mouth, it'll be, all right, here we go again. And it's all they have to do off the jump, off the start. If the Eagles defense can stop them on first down, that was their Achilles heel the past year, 2 years actually. If you can stop them on first down, stop them from running run. Don't let DeAndre Smith get loose. Don't let Williams get loose. Stop them on first down. Now you're getting a 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10. There's not a lot of plays you can get for that. So if you can do that, you can definitely hold it down. Then you can get your defense off the field. Then you take over with the offensive line of the Eagles. Move the ball consistently. You know what I mean? And from that point on, you'll take control of the game. And after you take control of the game, this team will eventually go back to being the old Lions again. Yeah, we just got to get them to be the old Lions again.
I think too, like with the other side of the ball, with how good the Eagles' offensive line. Look, Hutchinson's going to be a phenomenal player at that level. I don't doubt it. But he's going against Mailata and Lane Johnson. So, this is not no disrespect. He's not playing Minnesota or Penn State. This is going to be, and he's an effort guy for sure. So I don't think the motor ever stops with him. But it's going to be a big time challenge for him in his very first NFL game going against those dudes. I mean, he's facing two killers out of the chute. Because they line him up all over the place. He could be left side, right side. He's not one who cared what side he's on,
bro.
But it doesn't matter.
And you've heard what they said about Landon Dickerson. Yeah, Landon Dickerson. They said Landon Dickerson is the most improved player they have.
Yeah,
the most improved on
that line.
On the offensive line. Yeah. Yes. Yep. So you're talking about that. Then you move him over to the right side. All right, we have our All-Pro right tackle. Or then move him back over to the other side. We're gonna let you beat up on Mailata a little bit. Let Mailata tenderize him a little bit. See what he can do. After a while, it's going to be, man, I'm tired of getting my head bumping against this wall. I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
And then you try to put him in the middle, as some DNs will do. You put him in the middle, you got a Pro Bowl center sitting right there.
Yep.
Right there.
You deal with Kelsey and Dickerson and Sayamalo. So that's
Hold him up, guys. Hold him up.
Yeah.
Another guy. Bam.
Yep.
Bro, I just
think trenches, man. I just think trenches, and we saw it last night in that game. Who won the trenches? It was Buffalo in a big way, and I see the same. Yeah. Obviously, the Rams are a much better caliber than the Lions, but I see the same it playing out the same way on Sunday with the Eagles. Lions
I agree.
Yeah. And I don't think that at that point there's not a lot of pressure on Hurts, and that's where I think once Detroit starts getting demoralized, is where you start seeing A.J. Brown and Devontae and those guys really start to make their presence felt.
Look, I know they want to see Jalen Hurts put up the ball 30, 35 times, but if that running game is anywhere near what it was against Detroit last year, you're not going to see that. There's no need for him to throw the ball 30, 35 times.
Right.
You might see him throw the ball 22, 23. Then the controversy starts, which is unfair because they basically attack Detroit's weakness. If Detroit can't stop the run, you attack their weakness. And if you're running the ball, you're controlling the clock, you're putting points on the board, there's no need for your quarterback to put the ball up 30 for 35 times if you're running the ball efficiently 30 35 times in a game.
Yeah. The other thing is, I think that, as I mentioned in the last segment, I don't know if this is going to be the game plan that Eagles fans love.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, I don't think it's going to be
perfect assessment, Rob. You're right.
Yeah, it's not going to be super aggressive with the blitz, and I also think they're until Detroit shows you they can stop the run. Why wouldn't you just bludgeon them on the ground?
Absolutely.
Demoralizing. That's the worst thing you can do to it. And I used to talk to when I talk to Seth all the time, I used to say, Seth, what is it to have run the ball consistently in a defense game? He said, that's the most demoralizing you can do to a defense, because when we can't stop the run. And there's no way we can stop it. There's nothing else you can do. Passing, all right, you have a mistake. You can have a mistake as far as throwing a pick or an errant pass. But if you're just handing the ball off and a back is coming downhill and you're trying to tackle a back and you're getting put on your back, that's like the worst, because now you're getting up off the ground. And as an offensive line, we get lathered up like that. We love that. We love that, because now we've got you like this. We've got your heart in our fist like this. And we're steady pounding and pounding and pounding, and they start getting up slower and slower and slower, and you hear them start bitching at each other, hollering, you start seeing them, going back and forth. I've seen this time and time. We just pounded them, making them like boom, boom, boom. Bussy getting, hey, keep going, guy. Let's go. That's you love that type of football. You love that type of football. You just I'm getting goosebumps.
That was like a John Madden boom. We got booms in there, and I'm waiting for a turducken to be introduced, man.
It's going to be. It would be foolish for the Eagles to go in with the game plan, and they're passing it just to open it up, and then they have to take that, because you have to understand this. Glenn remembers what happened to him last year. Number one, he's going to stop the run because he doesn't believe in Jalen Hurts being able to throw the ball.
Right.
So he doesn't care about who we have out there in A.J. Brown. He doesn't care about Devontae Smith. He doesn't care about Quez Watkins or Pascal.
Goddard or whomever, yeah.
He cares about stopping the run. So what do when you stop the run? You put an 8th defender in the box. Now, all right, try to run now. Well, last year, the Eagles did that. They ran the ball. So what they're going to do, they're going to man up on the outside and then say, all right, you're not going to run the ball on us. Now, if they can go in and stop us a run against an 8-man front, it's over for this.
Game over.
It's over.
I can see a scenario where the Eagles, we're talking about them asserting their line dominance. I can see a scenario where Sirianni comes out and flips the script as he did when the one series the frontliners played in the preseason game. We're waiting to see the run game. Jalen Hurts threw 6 passes. He was 6 for 6. He scored a touchdown. I can see that happening, and then go to the run game.
Yes.
I can see that happening also. Try to hit them quick, hit them in the mouth quick, go up top. Let's show them what kind of weapons we got right out of the gate. Let them throw 6, 7 passes, boom, 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 get down the field. They're moving the chain, touchdown. Then you go to the run game and really take their heart out.
Well, that's what, if you talk to Joe Banner, and I know this is how Howie feels and how Andy feels and how the Eagles brass feels, but the NFL now is past to set up the run. In other words, get a lead in the passing game, and then you just take the air out of the clock.
Yep.
That's the way they view this. Now, sometimes you couldn't do it last year if you were the Eagles. It just wasn't the way you were built. So they had to do it the other way, and they did it, and they got them to the playoffs. Yep. But ultimately, that's how they want to win. They want to kill you in the air, beat you down, and then just, okay.
That's Andy.
No clock. That was Andy. That was exactly Andy's theory.
Was Andy. Yep.
Yep.
But I can see this team. I can see them going out, and I don't think they're going to be that foolish that they would say, all right, we're not going to run the ball just because we're not going to run it, even though we can run the ball. That just doesn't make sense.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Right.
And I know the OC is a lot smarter than that. You know what I'm saying? He's a lot smarter than that. But I do understand, all right, in the preseason, they have to throw the ball just to show, all right, we need to see if we can throw the ball. So I understand that. But hey, when games start counting, you do what you do best. And you work in a pass or two just to keep teams off balance. You give them just enough that people have to prepare for it. But you know you can run the ball. It's the best thing since sliced bread, man. So if they can continue to do that, it's only going to make other defensive coordinators like, man, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? You know, we just going to have to strap it up, fellas. Strap it up. Because I'm telling you, I can remember going into games, and I can hear them just as clear as day. Man, here we go again, man. Here we go again. Then they start bitching at each other. They start crying and cussing at each other.
Throwing the towel.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Throwing the towel.
Yeah.
Well, I think the other thing is, you know, I know it's his second year, but you have Jeff Okudah, who couldn't get on the field that much last year. You know, stepping into a big spot now. He's the right corner. He's the right starting corner. You know, I don't think this is a great secondary. I think the strength probably lies, you know, in the defensive line with these guys, with Brockers and Hutchinson. The other thing is, as good as he's looked as, you know, in his rookie camp here, and he looked great in Hard Knocks, Malcolm Rodriguez is a rookie.
He's a 6th round pick, yeah.
You know, that you would think if Goddard ever gets a matchup with him, man, you know, and or one of these safeties, it could be lights out.
He may not even touch the field, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. He can be a special teams guy.
He's starting.
He's
starting for Rodriguez. Look at the depth chart. They have him starting as a weak side linebacker.
I'm looking at the depth chart, and I see Chris Board starting.
Unless they changed it again, because the beginning of the week.
I think that was just Hard Knocks, man. That was all Hard Knocks. I think Chris Board starts. It's gonna be Chris Board, Alex Anzalone, and those two linebackers.
They have him at the will, Barrett. I don't know if that's official, but that's what they have him at.
Oh, they have him at the will?
Yeah, they have him at the will.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, yeah, you can see that.
And I don't know. I'm not familiar. The guys behind them are Derek Barnes, Josh Woods.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at this depth chart. Our lads' depth chart. They don't even have a will backer. Will backer is Chris Board, but they don't have a strong side backer. They don't have a Sam backer. They have a nickel guy instead of a strong side backer. So if you look at our lads, that's usually what I use.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, we'll see. Who knows? I mean, I think there's still some things trying to be figured out at this point.
Yeah, but he can play. He can play, but he's not. He will get rolled up. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get rolled up. He's a rookie, man. He's going to get rolled up a little bit.
Well, this was a game last year that the Eagles led 38-0 at one point.
Yes.
And they scored 2 touchdowns within 11 seconds. One was the scoop and score by Slay against his old team. You know, this was a massive, just demoralizing. And I guess that works one of two ways. You're either so ready to go because this team killed you, or in the back of your mind, you're like, I don't know, man. This team put it on us pretty good. And the Eagles were a mess at that time when they put it on them. Eagles were 2-5.
Yeah.
Coming off the Vegas game where they got killed.
No question about it.
And that's when they started. That's when then they say that's when what's his name started, became the coordinator.
Steichen. Yep.
That's when Steichen took over and became the coordinator. He's like, look, I don't care what they say upstairs. We got to do something. We got to stop the bleeding somehow.
Yeah.
These RPOs are not working. Defenses know how to stop it. And I remember plain as day how they stop it. All they would pinch the end. If you pinch the end, that makes the quarterbacks read, all right, I got to pull it from the running back. So the running back, the running back's not going to hit because they're going to pinch the end. Then they scrape the linebacker to the outside. They scrape that linebacker out to the outside and bring the safety down. That's where the P is for the pass. So you stop the run with the slant. You put a safety and you bring the linebacker around for the pass. Now it's freestyle. The quarterback has a freestyle. So everybody kept saying, why is Jalen Hurts always going out there and just freestyling?
Mm-hmm.
Because they stopped the run, they stopped the pass. Now, you know what I'm saying? The option is you got to freestyle. Mm-hmm. Try to do what you can do. And that's what they did. And it just didn't work for this offense. Once they just started handing that thing off, and then you add Jalen Hurts and his running ability to it, it's almost unstoppable. Virtually unstoppable.
Let me update you guys on this. So this is from Lions practice today, okay? Frank Ragnow did not I'm sorry. This is from Ragnow did not practice Thursday after being limited Wednesday. Tommy Kramer, who is Big V's replacement, who we know hasn't practiced the last 2 days. So, they have some issues. He was back. Ragnow was back taking part in Lions practice today. He was moving around. He took some snaps, did some limited stuff. So he's doing work, but it's not a full-fledged practice.
Yeah, you're talking about a groin injury, bro. That's a tricky thing, man.
And you got to hump down. You got to sit down against a bull rush from Davis. You saw what Davis did.
Not just Davis, but you have a quartet of guys you may have to hunk. Milton Williams, a big boy. Hargrave, Fletcher,
Hargrave, yeah.
Oh, you got 4 dudes coming at you, and they're going to be fresh, and you're going to be dog-tired trying to hunker down with them on a bad groin?
No, got to be more careful. No. Got to be more careful, man. That's when things start. That's when you know things are good. Things are going to be good this season, man, because things are starting to fall in place already. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the party going. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep the party going. I can see right now the Eagles going out there, taking that initial wave of just excitement. It's the first game of the season. They're at home, standing room only. You can't even buy tickets. It's sold out. And they just watch Hard Knocks, so they think this team is better than what they think they are. And then, bam, reality hits them.
Hey, by the second half, it could be like that game last night. Jared Goff may have to go to a silent count because Eagles fans taking over the crowd noise.
Right.
I'm telling you. I've seen it happen many times at Eagles games on the road when the home quarterback has to go to a silent count because the visiting fans are dominating the noise in the stadium.
And we've seen Eagles fans do that before.
Whoa.
Well, what happened there? What the heck was that?
Did you guys lose me for a minute?
No, I saw you twice on the screen.
I don't know what's going on.
It's Friday. It's Bizarre Friday, man. Look at this. I'm halfway in.
That's because it's almost time, baby. Woo!
Look, Xander trying to kick me out of the show, man.
He's going like, get out of there, man.
You can't do it, Z. You can't do it.
Let me ask you. Z, we'll try and get Derek fixed here. How do you think? I was going to ask you that you segued. There we go. You segued perfectly into this, Barrett. How do you see the rookies? I'm talking on the defensive side, the particular Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean. How do you see them being incorporated on Sunday?
I see Nakobe being on special teams. I don't think he gets burned at regular linebackers. So, I mean.
And you think it's kind of the way it's going to be early, at least for him. He's got a long way to go, and plus you got good linebackers. It's not like
really good.
If this was years past, he'd probably be starting.
Oh, there's no question about that.
Yeah.
He'd be the best thing since sliced bread. But man, we went out and got some quality guys. You got Hassan playing the Sam. White is going to have a Pro Bowl type of year.
Kazir White, yeah.
And then you got T.J. Edwards still playing. He's going to play at a Pro Bowl level. He probably won't get the nod because there's some really good linebackers, but he's going to play at a high level. So then from there, you're talking about rookies. You got Davis. Now, Davis will probably get like 20 snaps, 20 to 30, about 20 snaps a game. It's hard for him to get in unless they go to a 5-man front. Now, we know on first down, they want to play a 5-man front. Gannon wants to be able to stop the run. So you put a 5-man front. And when you put a 5-man front in, it's great because you don't know who's coming as far as the offside linebacker-esque or the end. He has the ability to drop both guys.
Okay.
But then you have them guys screaming off the corner. You can you'll do that on pass rounds also. But when you put 5 men in there, it mans up everybody on the offensive line. You can't slide the line anywhere because, it's 5 guys that you have to block. There's going to be eventually somebody's going to come free. You can't throw hot all the time. So you got to block it man on man. So from a strategic standpoint, that means Jordan Davis be right over the nose over Ragnow, who has a bum groin. You saw what he did against Cam, Cam Jurgens, our second team center. I almost put him on his back, driving him back. Can you imagine Ragnow and a bum, it's probably a hip flexor, a groin, hip flexor, same thing.
Right.
That's when, if you want to know what that is, if you sit down and do a squat right there in your groin area, that tight, that muscle, like a tendon right there, that's like one of the worst feelings in the world when you're trying to squat and somebody's pushing you and you're trying to stop them. You're trying to kick back and, it's tough. And you won't allow Goff to step up in the pocket because he'll press them all the way back. That'll be like to Goff is going to look like everybody's come. There's nobody free. Everybody's, around him. He gets kind of, skittish after that.
Yeah, he does.
He plays
He's
skittish
looking for the dirt.
Exactly. So he's going to be looking to get it out, and that's where you get your picks and everything from.
Well, not only that, B. Brooks, but if they go to a 5-man front, And you got Jordan Davis 6'6", Fletcher Cox 6'5". When they get the hand up, Goff's going to have a hard time trying to find a lane to throw to find his hot receiver.
Yeah, because you get some big dudes, tall,
telling you, man, all you got to put those hands up. You're not just dumping it over the middle because you have to put a little bit more arc on that ball. You can't just zip it and worry about getting the ball batted down. So, you start arcing it over the middle, all of a sudden you got the opposing jersey's conversion of the ball. Pick.
And then also look at this. It'll be easy for a guy like, Kazir White now to cover Hawkinson. That used to be like, all right, what are we going to do?
You go in panic time.
Oh man, but now we got TJ Hawkinson. We can have somebody to cover him. And oh, by the way, we also have a DB that can cover him. You know what I'm saying? We got guys that go out there and can play.
Yep.
So I can see at this point being great matchups all over the field. CJ Garner Johnson, 1-on-1 against TJ Hawkinson. Yeah. That's a good matchup. That's a good matchup.
Tavern Mike's thrown off.
It's bizarre. It's bizarro world.
We're keeping you guessing on a Friday, man. Hey, how about this weird? He's okay, mind you. Let me just be clear. But AJ Brown got stung by a bee at practice today.
Hey, if that's the worst of their problems, so be it. But,
I did see that happen when I was a guy on the field, and they had to go get an EpiPen for him.
Oh yeah, really? If you're allergic, it's real, man. It's not.
Wow.
I once fell off of a ladder into a bush when I was painting a hotel, and a whole hive connected.
Oh, that's right.
My calf.
I was. Look, it was almost. You weren't going to be married.
Oh man,
it was almost.
What happened? Rob froze?
Yeah, Rob's internet's tripping.
Wow.
Remember he told a story? He told a story about
about the bee stinging him?
Yeah, and his wife, and he had to go see his wife, and he was doing the job for his wife's was her boss or something like that. And he's trying to go over and wooze her, and he's all stung up by bees, and his legs swell up and everything.
Man, I haven't been stung by a bee since I was like a teenager. But there's one bees. What do they call those bees? They look like big flies, but they're bees, and they like bite you. They don't sting you. But
you talking about horse flies?
Not a horse fly. It's a different kind of. It's a bee, a sweat bee. Have you ever been stung by a sweat bee?
No.
They're called sweat bees, and usually you get them down. Oh, you decided to come back.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
But a sweat bee, they'll get on you, and it's more like they bite instead of sting you.
Yeah.
But it hurts like a horsefly bite. But yeah, hey man, look,
it's no joke.
You get no joke, man. See, Jim G put carpenter bees, but see, carpenter bees, they don't sting you. They attack the wood on your deck and stuff. They tear up your woodwork.
Yeah, they do.
Hate them things.
You're
That's
right.
all right. I got something for them though. I got something.
Yeah, you got your blaster, man.
No, bro. I got this spray. It's specifically for carpenter bees, and I get it at Home Depot or Lowe's. Man, you hit them with one of those, and the thing is, they're menacing looking, but because they look like oversized bumblebees.
Yes.
But they just hover like helicopters. That's when you know the difference between a bumblebee and a carpenter bee. They like hover, and they just look at you. They don't bother you, but they're menacing. I mean, I hit them with that spray, straight down.
Bumblebees are assassins, man. They're they're right in there. All right, so we come back. Expectations, the word that Jason Kelsey doesn't want to hear, but expectations, we can do it. So what we think the Eagles' season record is going to be, how far they're going to go in the playoffs, what they're going to do against the division, Jalen Hurts, all the offensive players, all the defensive players, and we're not letting the coaches off the hook here. Sirianni, Steichen, Gannon, Clay, who I know Barrett wants to talk about. We'll hit all the coaches as well and what our because we still don't know his returning punts, do we?
Nope.
Am I wrong about that? All right.
It's the best kept secret.
That's the one. That's the one we're not sure about. All right. We'll do all that when we get back. Don't go anywhere. Derek, Barrett, Rob, we are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Time to tell you about my friends at Pro Action Restoration. Say to yourself, what's Pro Action Restoration? Well, listen, if you have water, if you have fire, if you have smoke, if you have mold damage to your house, they're the people that you call, right? You got a flood in the house, in the crawl space, in the basement, whatever the case may be, a sprinkler goes off, or any of those kind of things happen in your house. They're the people to call. They're on call 24 hours, 7 days a week, our Pro Action Restoration. I've gone through it on a Saturday. I called Pro Action. They got over there quick. They cleaned the place up, fixed the problem. The crew was professional, clean. The price was reasonable. It was awesome. They are the best. They are licensed, bonded, fully insured. They've been serving the tri-state area for more than 2 decades. ProAction will work in conjunction with your insurance company as well. Again, it could be water, could be fire, could be smoke, could be mold remediation. You name it. They have handled it, and they will handle it. Give them a call, 610-623-3760, 610-623-3760, or you can reach them online at proactionrestoration.com, proactionrestoration.com.